clear cut in terms of overreach and excessive violence of the police.
Yes, people are aware of things going on in other parts of the country. Of course, the latest thing that happened in New York, and also the young man who had the BB gun. So, they'll come out and they'll chant the names of these other people, not just Michael Brown, but also other people here in the St. Louis area and around the country as well. So they're very aware and cognizant of the things that are going on. But why we don't have larger protests, larger demonstrations for those things, I don't really know. I'm not exactly sure how it happened that this is the issue that people decided to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
There have been media about these other events as well, but this was the kind of the catalyst that got everybody together to focus on the situation. Like you said, there's a lot of things that they're keeping from us as far as the particulars of this trial, but the things you mentioned, the Walmart shooting, the guy who got shot in New York in the stairwell, there are other more definitely clear-cut examples, but why it came to this, I'm not exactly sure.
Well, of course, it seems like to me that there's a lot of people in the conservative community, people who would have kind of a knee-jerk reaction to defend law enforcement first and foremost, and not really look very closely at particular incidents. It seems like they also are the same kind of people who are going to not be persuaded by demonstrations. They're actually, I think it's going to kind of backfire against those people when they see a massive group of people carrying signs and shutting down intersections, that sort of thing. It's going to push them further into the camp of saying, yeah, we need to have even more law enforcement, don't we, to kind of shut this stuff down. Maybe there's other ways that we need to reach those people.
Well, the thing about it is, David, whether it's police actions or military actions, they think if you're wearing a uniform, a lot of people, anything you do is, on the up and up. But that's not the case. We've seen some horrific things done in war theaters. We see horrific things done on our streets here in America, growing the opium overseas, all kinds of things going on. So I'm not one of those people who think, just because you're a uniform, everything you do is in the right.
Yeah.
So, but there are people who think that way. They think that whether it's the guy that got shot in the stairwell in New York or some of these other instances, well, the officer pulled out a gun. They think these officers are these highly trained, James Bond type of guys. They're the master of every situation. They can show up. They have perfect aim. They can do all these things. But that's not the case. These guys don't have very good training, and the training they do get, it's this federalized training. These very harsh, brutal tactics. And since we've been out here the second time from our original trip in August, they have gotten a lot better, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Well, and of course, it's the same sort of thing we saw in the story we covered last week coming out of the Albuquerque Police Department, the police department that has the highest percentage of shootings per capita, far greater than large cities like New York. And again, after they've been under the special scrutiny of the Department of Justice because so many people have complained about them, they still come out with a killology class and essentially training them that they're in a war zone, essentially telling them you are in a war and you are a warrior. There are people who wake up every morning determined to send your family to a box. That's the kind of mindset that causes this to happen. And of course, we saw earlier in that same area in Albuquerque, that's where they shot the homeless man that was up in the hills earlier this year. We also saw that they had instituted what one person at the New Mexico Police, an instructor at the New Mexico Police Academy, said was a shoot-first curriculum. He refused, this veteran instructor at the police academy refused to teach that curriculum, calling it a shoot-first curriculum, and they fired him because of it. They were not going to change the curriculum. So we see this being pushed, and yet there's so many people, I think, that are still just mindlessly supporting anything that law enforcement does, not concerned about establishing some outside oversight or some rules of engagement. I think those people need to be reached. There's a number of ways that we can reach people. I've heard callers call in. They're concerned. They don't feel like we're making headway, but I do believe that we are making headway in the information war. I think demonstrations are a part of it. They will appeal and change the minds of some people. Other people, we're going to need a more rational approach. They're going to need to see these incidents as people videotape them on their phones and put them up on the internet. I think that will help a lot of people.
I think that is the way.
Yeah.
We think about the guy who's got strapped down to have the no refusal blood draws. That's a very powerful video, and I think that definitely helps wake people up.
Yes, absolutely. All right, we're going to be right back, and I guess we're going to get some input from Joe Biggs, also on the scene there in Ferguson, Missouri. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you, Jakari.
Are you happy doing your laundry with perfume detergents that irritate your skin? Are you happy washing your hands with stinking fragrances that gives your skin rashes? Are you happy paying new, higher prices for smaller boxes? Find your happiness today with our 1 to 4 year supply of pure soaps, or our 1 to 2 month sampler with bar soap, shampoo, laundry, and dish soap at 5starsoap.com. You deserve the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com.
Hey, Boomer! I learned in school today that 60% of our bodies are made of water. Good thing we have the Berkey system. It's the cleanest, best water ever. Mom says it's because the Berkey's filtration system cleans out the bad stuff and leaves only pure, delicious water. I know, right? You love it too. Yeah, I'm thirsty too. Let's go get some. Get Berkey clean water by calling 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Or visit goberkey.com.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw of free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with Super Male or Super Female Vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
Hey everyone, my Ghost 80% AR-15 project was a total success. Thank you, Guns80.com. Thank you. I bought my Ghost AR-15 at Guns80.com. It's everything I expected more. Just got a note from my buddy Mark, and now they're having a huge Black Friday and a big Cyber Monday sale. Guess Christmas is coming early this year. I'm definitely ordering one for my brother on Black Friday because the price drops to $400. Yes, I did just say that. $400. Unbelievable. At Guns80.com, the big sale is on. Begins Friday, November 22nd, and ends December 1st. So hurry now. Sale prices for Ghost ARs again, $400. Black Friday will be a good day. Get your Ghost AR-15 at Guns80.com. Sale is on right now at Guns80.com. That's Guns80.com, guns and the number 880.com. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everyone from our good friends at Guns80.com. The big sale is on. I'll see you there.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, and we're going to go to one of our reporters in Ferguson, Missouri right now, Joe Biggs. Joe?
How you doing, David? We're outside the Justice Center in Clayton, Missouri, and like you can understand right now, tensions are pretty high. There's a much larger police presence today. There's a lot of different security teams driving around. Just tensions are high for the verdict, what's going to happen today. Everyone's just waiting to find out how to react and how to respond. I mean, you've got to understand, this is since August, and this has just been building up so much over time. People have gone from kind of getting tired of it to feeling like they're being teased. The verdict was going to come out last week. Now here we are a week later waiting on this again. So everyone's just really emotional, and they just want to find out because, like I said before, that Ferguson fatigue has definitely sat in, and people are just fed up, and they just want to find out what's going on.
You know, we're getting Washington Post, CNN, others saying that press conferences are being prepared, that the grand jury has reached a verdict. They're also saying, this Washington Post article, that although a parallel federal civil rights investigation of the shooting is continuing, federal investigators have all but concluded that they don't have a case against Darren Wilson. So it looks like this is going to be, he's going to be found innocent. They're not going to move forward with prosecution. And I think, of course, really this as we mentioned earlier in the program, a grand jury can be used, and I believe it's being used here, to provide political cover for the prosecutor. He could move ahead, even if the grand jury said they didn't want to indict into a trial. The prosecutor still has that opportunity to do that. So he's trying to get some political cover from these people. What do you think, in terms of the people that you've talked to, the pulse that you've gotten from people as you've been there this last week, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to get violent?
Yes.
You do?
I do. You know, there's more people out here who want peace, but at the end of the day, David, it only takes a few bad apples to really just turn everything into complete and total chaos. You know, last night I got a picture from an area in Shaw where people said they want to burn it down. So, like I've said, tensions are very high. You know, you've got 90% of the people out there who are just super peaceful, loving people who just want to go out there and have their voices be heard. But you're going to have some out there who really want nothing more than to start some chaos, release anger in any way they can, because they feel like that's the only way that they can be heard. So it's one of those things that we just have to wait and sit back and find out what's going to happen and plan accordingly.
Well, and of course, last time you were there, you got shot with a rubber bullet. You guys got gassed. We saw video that you guys took where they were using laser sights to target people that were, what, about 100 yards away or so? I mean, they were no immediate threat to the people, yet they clearly had their guns and sights pointed on them. So, I mean, there's two sides to this as well. Do you see any, how do you feel? You believe that, of course, all it takes is, like you said, is just a few agitators. They could be false flag agitators or whatever. What is your take in terms of the police? You guys have said that they seem to be more professional this time.
Yes, the lieutenant that was there at the Ferguson Police Department that came in the other night, he was very professional, had very great leadership skills, and really led the officers there that night in a responsible manner. They did everything right. Yeah, there were arrests made. There were some people who purposely, I don't think they minded being arrested. They stood there right there in the middle of the road. But a lot of people are saying, hey, you know, we're worried about the MRAPs again. You know, we don't want to have our children in the neighborhood have these laser dots on their chest because some guy is pointing a sniper rifle at them. You know, the way things were handled in August, it makes a lot of people worried now. Is that going to happen again? So everyone is kind of on pins and needles because when this verdict comes out, you can tell the government's, they're preparing for the worst. They're expecting massive riots. They're expecting hell to break loose. So everyone's sitting here waiting, including myself. Are they going to come out here again, arrest journalists, shoot at journalists? Are they going to come out here in full battle rattle in these MRAPs and tanks and all this stuff? I just hope it doesn't get to that point again. But, you know, they're sending 100 FBI agents. They've already done that. They've got 1,000 police officers in the area. That's almost more than we have in Iraq. So yeah. It's pretty amazing when you look at the number of people they have here for something. So it's very interesting to watch that.
Now I can tell from looking at you that it is freezing cold there. What's the temperature there?
Oh, it's below freezing, and the wind is blowing extremely hard.
Wow. And you're standing in front of what? Is that the court building or is that the police station?
Yes, the Justice Center. This is where apparently they're convening right now. And as you can see, they've had this place barricaded off now for about 2 days in anticipation for the verdict. And like I said, there's a lot of police officers out here today. There's vehicles parked around every corner. You know, they're not taking this lightly. They've got, you know, all the mainstream media bigwigs who you watch on Fox and CNN.
Well,
Everyone's out
thanks,
here today.
Joe. We got to go to commercial break. That's Joe Biggs and Jakari Jackson in Ferguson, Missouri. We'll go back to them as we find more.